Good morning, Bande Matram. Welcome all of you. Here, the topic of discussion for this morning will be on contacting that. We'll discuss everything from the mother's writings, that the supreme reality. So, you have to contact. Without contact, nothing can be done. Already, we have known there is a soul inside us, spark of the absolute. In the process of evolution, gaining the dynamism, it becomes the psychic being. So without when you contact the psychic being, then only from that point only that the yoga starts, that so contacting that, this supreme reality, that is something they are inside, so we have to contact it. Unless otherwise we have contacted that, the yoga yet to start, and still then we are similarly we are considered as the aspirants or applicants, not yet gone for the sadhana. Anyway, we'll try to go and discuss from the mother's writings, contacting that. That is the topic of discussion right now. Mother quotes, there is a reality which is beyond all our expression. We can't express. Something is there, that is a supreme reality, and we can't express in our words. That is what. But which can be, which we can succeed in contacting. We can contact, but we can't express by practicing a discipline, yogic discipline, especially integral yogic discipline. By practicing this one, we may be able to know, to contact, but thing is that we can't express what is that. We can identify ourselves with it. That is the second act. First, we can practice, we can know. Second, we can identify ourselves with it. Once one is identified with it, one knows what is it. Without proper identification, very difficult to know. In the expression in words, it can't be expressed, and but one can't express it. You can know it by getting identified with it, but actually you can't express what is that. That is the trouble, that is the problem with us. So if you use one kind of vocabulary, you have to, you have a particular mental conviction, you will use the vocabulary corresponding to that only conviction. You can use some vocabulary because you know, but thing is that it is totally that, it is not expressible, you can't be expressed. If you belong to another group, second group, mother quotes, if you belongs to another group, so then what happens really here? If you belongs to another group, there, which is another way of speaking, which is already another way of speaking, you can you will call it or even think about it in that way. You can call or you can think. Initially, we are using our mental phenomenon and giving a vocabulary. But thing is that identity is a must. I am telling you that this you give you, and the true impression, that is that there, and that is a something which can't be grasped, grasped by thought. Clearly speaking, grasped by thought, your mental phenomenon, you can't grasp it, you can't express it. That is the problem. By which it, but which exists really. It has got its existence. It is true. It is the supreme reality. It has got its own state of formation. It has got its. It exists in reality. But thing is that with the mental grasp, it is very difficult, not at all possible. But actually, it exists. But the name you give it matters a little, because in many names, many forms, you see and try to express, but thing is that any name does not matter. But that's no importance. It exists. There is no doubt of it, about the existence, but thing is that it can't be grasped by thought. And so the only thing to do is to enter into contact with it. Only thing you have to do, you have to enter in contact with it, not to give it a name or describe it. In fact, there is not to give a name, a form or something else. But thing is that you have to contact it. You have to be identified with it. That is what. Your vocabulary, mental conviction is not only enough because theoretically speaking, it is insufficient. Again, one must try to enter into contact, then concentrate upon it, and third, live with it, and live that reality. That is the way. That is the way. How can we be able to grasp and to contact it? So, mother gives the clue. One must try to enter into contact. Second, to concentrate upon. Third, to live it. Then live that reality. And whatever the name you give is not at all important. Many names, many groups, many fundamentals, many way of thinking, many way of expressing, that does not matter. But thing is that you the thing what you have to do, you have to be in contact, you have to concentrate upon, you have to live it and live the reality. That is what the, is important. So once you have this experience, then you have achieved something, you have proceeded one or two steps ahead. The experience alone counts. This experience is a better, that is the only thing that counts, that is experience. And when people associate the experience with a particular expression, when people associate the experience with a particular expression, and in a narrow a way, so close up in itself, that apart from this formula, one can find nothing. That is the only formula. You have to identify with it. You have to contact it. We have to live with it, and you have to live the reality. That is the only way. Only way. That is the found nothing. That is the mother course. It is the, that is the only way. Other no other go. That is the only way. A narrow way, so closed up in itself. Apart from the formula, one can find nothing. That is its an inferiority. One must be able to live in the reality through all possible paths. That is the method. To live with that reality in all possible paths, all occasions, then all formations, one must live it. For indeed it is true. For that sometimes is good, that is all powerful, So you have to be able to live in that reality. On every occasion, all possible paths, all permissions must leave it. So that is the way, and with this only he can know, he can say how it is. Externally, suppose give you an example, you saw some person being well dressed and speaking of some good words, and you get confused. You get fascinated towards him, get attracted, and finally you don't know what evil or good you are going to find at the end. So, but actually, thing is that here expression or meaningful words or vocabulary is not sufficient unless otherwise you are in conscious union with it, getting identified with it. Yes, one can live that. One can't speak about that. That is problem. You have to live in that reality, but the words are insufficient. You can speak of it. And if one does speak, all one says about it has no great importance. Because how can this inexpressible can be expressed in words? As he is inexpressible can't be expressed in word, he is now inexpressible because definitely he can't be expressed in words. You know, so these words, whatever one speaks, that is not of much importance. It is only the way of speaking, that's all. It is the only way of speaking because you have to speak something you are speaking. You think speaking is enough, but in reality, that it has got no more great importance. There is entire line of philosophies and the people who have replaced the notion of God by the notion of the impersonal, an impersonal absolute, or by notion of the truth, or notion of the justice, or even by notion of progress. Most of the time, most different principles are there, different seekers are there, different finders are there, different achievements are there on their path. But the thing is that they think they have replaced the notion of God by the notion of impersonal absolute, notion of truth, then notion of justice, or by notion of progress. So, and something eternally progressive, but one who has within him the capacity of identifying himself with that, what has been said about has not much importance. many principles, many people, many followers, many finders, they have seen the that reality in different notions, different terms, different forms. But once you get identified with the supreme reality, you know these are not of much importance, because he is the same whom many have expressed in many different names and forms. That is what the truth we find here also. So again, sometimes one may read the whole book of the philosophy entirely. Some philosophy is there. Somebody, some can come, he can read the entire book of philosophy, and not a step further, no progress. Sometimes another example the mother gives. One may have quite fervent devotees of a religion, but under not progress. That is what also seen. They have religious bent of mind. They are following, pursuing the religion, but actually they have found no progress. There are people who have spent entire lifetime, other category of people, they have got they have spent entire lifetime seated in the contemplation and attend nothing. That is also what has been done. Mother quotes of different states of people, sometimes you can find one set of people, entire book of philosophy, but found nothing. The religious bent of mind, they have also finally they have not achieved anything. Third, entire time is spent in sitting in some contemplation or meditation, found nothing. There are people you can take who used to do most modest manual works, like a cobbler mending the old shoes, and but who had an experience. That is also possible. People who are doing meditation, who are reading the philosophy, who are leading the religious fervor, doing the religious puja and all, they have got nothing. Even some people you can find up a lower icon, even some cobbler and all you can find, they have also achieved. So this is the mystery and this is the miracle what really we normally see, because to come these words are insufficient, and your thought process ego, it has no, absolutely no value in that phenomenon. So you have to be in contact with that is something there inside you, that is the supreme reality. And that's what mother explains. So it is altogether beyond what one thinks or says, beyond what one thinks or says. It is some gift that is there, that's all. So whatever you speak, you express, everything is beyond all, beyond our expression, beyond our thinking. And all that is needed to be that to succeed in identifying oneself. That is what again and again mother quotes. Succeed in identifying oneself with it and leave it. Not only identify it and to leave it. To know is good, to live is better, and to be that is perfect. So many examples mother gives. Many ways people have gone, but they have found nothing. Even a mere one rock bottomed man like a cobbler, they have also got some experience, because the experience counts a lot, not the price. Again, the point is that you have to identify yourself and to live it. At times you read one sentence in a book, and which lead you there. Sometimes you read entire book, very interesting. One page of book somewhere you have seen. I have seen people, even one message they have got and their life has been changed. Even some people are there who have read like anything, entire books or books after books, books after books. They have gone to little bit and finally they have left the track. We have seen. Sometimes they read the entire books of philosophy and the religion, and they got nowhere. So there are people whom the reading of philosophy of books helps. They go ahead, but all things are secondary. So mother quotes, that is a beautiful example mother has given. Sometimes people have got one page or one line they have they have read, and their life has been changed. In most cases, on the contrary, books they have already covered, but actually it has got no value. So mother quotes, if the book is profitable for you in this path, you can go. Thing is that you can go ahead, but all these things are secondary. The primary thing is that this identity, this contact, this is more important. So only thing that is important, that is the sincere and persistent will. Sincere and persistent will, that is the most required condition. For those things don't happen in quickly. So one must persevere. One must persevere. Not in a day. Yoga is a thing that is not done in a day. Surrender is a thing that is not in a day. Surrender is progressive. Yoga is progressive. So it is steadfastly, continuously you have to move on. So when someone feels that he is not advancing, he must not get discouraged. That is the question. Most of the times I am not getting the result. I am getting discouraged like this. So he must not do like this. That example, mother's story you can see. Two disciples, they were sitting in meditation, tapasya and all. They found Narada going. They asked, requested Narada, okay, sir, you are going. Just ask God Vishnu when he is coming. And okay, it is done. Narada went, and after some time he returned back. Somebody asked, "What has Narada? What was the reply?" I'm up to my question. Narada said, "Okay, he will come, but actually it needs something like 100 years." In this man told, "No, no, I don't have any patience. 100 years. Already I have suffered. I don't want. I have any patience. I want to wind up the tapasya and go." Narad said, okay, you go because nobody advised you to come. You have come and you don't have the patience. And here in integral yogic process, it needs infinity patience for that. And the second one, he asked Narada what he showed. Okay, same answer, 100 years. Okay, 100 years. It does not matter. At least I know God will come. My application is there with Him. He will come. That's what. He started dancing like anything, and finally, what happened? God manifested it within a few seconds. That is what the requirement. So, what one someone says that he feels that he is not advancing, even through long perseverance, it is not advancing. So he must not be discouraged. He must try to find what it is in the nature that is opposing. Something is definitely opposing. That must be found out, and then take the necessary progress. So you have the aspiration, you have the will, you are here, you are doing the sadhana, but sometimes you feel even the endeavor, long perseverance, the progress is very feeble. So there itself you go deep inside and found out where is the problem, where is the lacuna, and when you reach the end, you have the experience. And very interesting thing, when you reach the end, you got the experience. And what is the remarkable with that the people who have followed altogether the different paths, because infinity number of paths. So all the paths are not suitable same for the sadhakas who are pursuing, because nature and consciousness difference in nature and the consciousness. So path will be will vary from person to person, from sadhaka to sadhaka, with altogether different mental construction, from the greatest believer to the most unbelieving, even the materialist, and have arrived at that experience. And all the same, it is the same as for everyone. It is totally different, totally varies, different paths, and mental construction, that this is also different. So some people are, you can find the most believers, greatest believers, and on the contrary you will find some most unbelieving. You can find most materialist, and simultaneously you can get without experience. But thing is that one thing, one method, same thing, you have to be in contact, then only you will get some experience for progress. And without impatience, you find out where the lacuna, where the problem is there. In spite of doing all these things, you are not getting the result in a long run. So because it is true, because it is real, because it is the soul reality, very interesting. Soul reality, real, it is true. You have to find there is no other go. It is there inside. You have to go deep within, contacting that. Without contacting that, no real experience will come, no real progress will come, no more finality will become, will you will get. And it is very simply that. It is quite simply that. I don't say anything more. That you have to contact that. You have to gain the experience. You have to be in touch. This is of no importance. The way you one speaks about it. What is important, to follow the path. To follow the path, that is important. Your path, and no matter whatever is there. Yes, it will go there. So infinite number of paths are there you can find on your way, but the thing is that this path varies from person to person because entire person's personality and the consciousness varies from one to another. For that, actually, what you have to do, you be a sincere, have the sincere willingness, have will, then you aspire, then you try to find out, go deep within, then be in contact with that only through the identification you can get some touch, some glimpse. And voices are, the words are insufficient, the names are insufficient, many ways, many names, many forms, many different principles have developed, but the thing is it matters little. Even they don't have, without the proper experience, we don't, without knowing the properly, it is very difficult to know what is that and with that. And the one thing is very clear, without that nothing can be done, and that is the supreme truth, supreme reality, so for that, actually, you have to be in contact, you have to identify yourself in a very positive manner. That is what the requirement. So, does not matter which principle or which path you are going, but thing is that you try to meet your goal at the end point. So it is time to stop. Bande Mataram.